when I was young, when I'm vibing a chick, okay. I never used to vibe chicks because I was scared of rejection. Yeah, because back in the day, it was old school.
It was hard.
It was hard. You
Chicks
have to capture someone,
hard.
The right way, everything, impress her. You don't have money. You're just in school.
So your words have to be.
Because the chick just says, you know what, Fidel, it's a no. So in acting, I compare it to the same feeling in acting, because you go for auditions, you get a lot of rejection.
More no's
than yeses.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Arts in Show. Kama kawaida tuko hapa tuna chill na wase wakuu wa industry. My name is Cheptoek Boyle, and today we have Fidel Maithya, who is an actor and a sports commentator.
Yes.
Hey. Bayo kubwa.
No, it's not really. I think it's different. Like most people, when they see me and that's for my resume, sometimes it catches them off guard. They're like, oh my God, so sports, and then you're into acting, and then you're also a radio producer. What's up with that? But I think I've been blessed.
Because it's like two different worlds.
Yeah, but almost similar. Because it's still the arts, it's still, you have to perform in front of a camera. So there's nothing very different from it. But of course, in terms of the drama, it's different. This is real life. This other one is fiction. Maybe you're doing a fictitious story. And the production as well in terms of radio is also similar to what we're having now. Yeah.
Okay. Sasa,
yes,
we like to know more about you. But first, give us a small background about yourself.
Yes.
This is education-wise,
yes,
and family-wise.
Family-wise and education-wise. Oh my God! Today, leo menipata bus central.
Kupata kweli.
I mean, I'm a trained journalist. I went to Kenya Institute of Mass Communications. I graduated in '99. Got my first job. So while I was still in school, I was interning at Capital FM, and I guess they liked me kidogo, and they said they would want to keep me, and I ended up being one of the production guys. I think we were 4 at the time, and since then, grown in the industry, done radio, worked with so many big names. I've been blessed to work with very talented individuals, from the likes of Phil Matthews, Farid Kimani, Eve D'Souza, all those guys.
The big names.
Bob Kyoko, Jimmy Gathu. Worked there till 04, left, went to Nation Media Group. They asked me to join them in production as well. Nation FM was a budding station at the time as well. I liked the energy, I liked the setup and everything. I said, why not? Let me try something new. Still young. I think I was 26 at the time, 25. Oh my God, that's a long time ago. And from Nation, started doing a few bits, because in school we used to do a lot of plays, a lot of productions, especially for guys who have assignments in terms of how to produce a film or TV drama. And I just loved it. I got the bug. I love TV. I've loved TV since I was a kid. I used to watch a lot of dramas. I remember my mom saying, "Nyinyi mtaenda kulala. This TV will be there when you grow up." Which is true. Right now we have a lot of content on TV, but at the same time we don't have the time to watch it. So that there's an oxymoron there somewhere. But she was right. So I fell in love with just watching people portraying other people. And for me, once I got the chance in these productions here and there, and then I got my big break with Selina, I was like, it was a no-brainer for me. I dived deep.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, when you've just said you have done a lot of radio.
Yes.
When you're in college, was it something that you wanted to do? You knew that right away, I'm gonna go on the radio side?
Yeah.
Was it because of the internship?
No. Since I'll tell you this, since high school.
Wow.
Surprisingly. So I think in high school back in the day, from 2 or from 3, we used to be given these government guidance booklets that would sort of guide you in what career you want to study for once you finish high school. And I saw media there and communications, and I said, you know what, I want to do it. I want to do it because this is another interesting thing people don't really know. My mom used to be a video editor at KBC and at PPS at the time. It was called PPS at the time. So sometimes, there's no one at home to take care of you guys. She'll go with us to work. And I just fell in love with just being around the studio, being around the consoles, and just seeing how people produce amazing radio at the time. That's the time we had just one station in terms of broadcasting, KBC, TV, and radio. And I remember one time I went during a sports slot in the afternoon, and I remember seeing guys produce the show and everything. I fell in love because I've loved sports since I was a kid. I played football. You could say at the highest level, in junior level, because we played in tournaments like the Kiko Cup. I was a goalkeeper in my position, and almost made it to the junior national team because the person representing Langata in terms of the first choice goalkeeper was in the national team at the time, Francis Onyiso, number 1. And then I was the second choice. And then a few years later, of course, he's drafted into the national team. So yeah, I fell in love for the longest time with sports and with production and media. So it's something that was ingrained in me. It's something I didn't just choose because I had an opportunity to get a job. It's something I just loved from the get.
Wow. The story about your mom just takes me to what a wonderful woman, because I'm thinking editing at that time, I think you're cutting directly from
tape,
and then you glue it.
You glue it.
That was just
that
tedious.
was crazy back in the day. Like, it's mad respect. I try to do that because I do my own social media editing and everything, and I'm sometimes complaining, and then I'm like, this is the easiest ish ever, because people back in the day used to have it hard, even in radio, reel to reels.
Because I remember when I was studying, we were taught about time codes.
Yes,
I hated those things. I do not want to use those things, but at least now you can cut on picture, on waveform down there. It is much easier. And
then the quality is everything now. You can decide, I'm going to work on the audio first before I start cutting on the pictures and everything. So there's a huge difference in what those guys experience and what us guys are experiencing right now.
I think we are VIPs.
That is true.
Yeah. Now, when you're at Nation, I think I saw you on TV first.
Yes.
Before you went on Selina.
Yes.
Because I kept on telling my friend, Fidel was on TV before Selina, and she was like, no. I was just to assure your friend, I was on TV, and this is how it happened. I was in radio for the longest time, and there we go again, my love for sports. I think it was about the time for the 2010 World Cup. The euphoria was crazy. First World Cup in Africa, going to be in South Africa, and these guys, NTV at the time, had a shortage of presenters in terms of TV in the morning, and I volunteered. I said, can I come in for a screen test to see how I do, and if you like me, why not? Let's see what we can do. And it was purely on a voluntary basis. Like, I wasn't getting paid extra or anything. And my boss in radio at the time, John Wilkins, told me, great advice by him, just told me, just do the show, but remember you have a shift between 9 and 6 in the evening. So I finished morning show, and then I come back to radio. I remove my suit and everything. I come back to radio. It was hard because I used to wake up at 3 every day. Every day for 2 years, just doing sports. But I loved it. Gave me many opportunities. I think at one point when SuperSport came into the market looking to broadcast basketball, our Kenyan league, and this is what I've been told from a source. I don't want to mention their name because they're in a meeting whereby guys were just spitballing, wondering
who can we get? Who knows basketball and is good on TV? So thinking. And someone said, Fidel has played basketball and he knows basketball. Why don't we give him a try? And yeah, sure enough, I started doing basketball analysis on SuperSport as well. Gave me opportunities as well to also travel out of this country and travel within the region, and just talk about the game that I've loved since I was this high. Yeah.
Now, from NTV, did you go directly to Selina? Ama, what were you doing in between there?
So from NTV, I did my sports thing, and then at some point the work became hectic. Radio, there was so much pressure. I was concentrated on radio. And what happened, I got cast by Eve D'Souza and Lucy Mwangi on Varshita. On one of the episodes, they just called me.
Sure.
Yeah, they told me, Fidel, are you free tomorrow? And I'm like, what for? We're thinking of you for a scene whereby your Makbul, who was the Jama, your Makbul's friend, and you've come for a birthday party and you guys get food poisoning and stuff. It was a very funny scene by the way. And they said, come, see. I think I had one line or something. And then I went. We did the thing. And from then on, I was on the spotlight, like, if you will. It magnified maybe my abilities. I don't know. Trying to stay modest here, but I remember the casting director, Gerald Langiri, for Selina, put out a post on Facebook and put out a post looking for a specific older gentleman, still youngish. They're looking for a person who can fill that role. If you know anyone, or if you think you're the one, come for an audition at MultiChoice Studios on Gong Road. I don't know Gerald personally at the time. So when he posted that thing, I didn't see it, but I'm seeing people tagging me on Facebook. I'm seeing Eve D'Souza tagging me, Lucy Mwangi tagging me, a lot of guys tagging me. Fidel, try this out. Then Gerald called me, I got your number from so-and-so. We hear you can do this part. Can you come for auditions tomorrow between 2 and whatever? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Nothing to lose. At the time, I didn't know how big, I'll be honest, I didn't know how big Selina was. Yeah. I had no idea he was even casting for the show, Selina.
And I think most people didn't even know it was Selina.
Yeah, so I went through, checked into the audition. First of all, I found like 60 guys. Muscular guys looking like they're from the gym straight up. And then we're given like 3 pages in Swahili Sanifu. And I'm like, wow, you have to get them in like 5 minutes, you're going in. I'm like, wow, what am I going to do? So I'm like, nothing to lose. I read the script. I checked in. Uzuri, it was opposite Helen Kelly's character, Patricia. So I was talking to her. I was busy, vibing her, telling about our history. If you know the characters well, they knew each other when they were growing up. But now,
she's such a powerful.
Yeah, I was so intimidated by the. So when I checked in, all the lights were switched off. The only lights that were on were where I was standing and where Helen was standing. And we did the scene, and I think for me, my secret was, if there was any secret to it, I just looked into her eyes and just fell in love with her, if you will, like immediately. Like just looked into her eyes and just said, this is the person you want me to be? Let me be that person. And I went for it, and I left. I was like, leave it to God, leave it to chance, whatever. We'll see how it goes. I didn't even reach the gate.
You are the guy.
Yeah, I was called by Gerald. I was like, are you still around? I'm like, yeah. Can you come to the office, we talk?
Eesh, nice.
That's how I became Dr. Leshan, if you will. It's such a privilege by day and an honor. I was so humbled by that experience. I don't think I slept that night. I was so excited, yeah.
So what made you want to start acting? Because at Varshita, that was just like a phone call and you're just going to try out. And then this one, guys linked you up, tagged you on social media, and then all of a sudden you went to audition. It is going into it. Why? What did you want?
No, I've always, as I said earlier, I've always loved it. I've always loved the theater as well. I've never performed in the theater in Kenya professionally, but I've always loved theater. I've gone for many plays, and I've seen the likes of Helen Kelly doing plays. I've seen Angela Mondanda doing plays, Ian Mbugua, and I'm just there. I'm engrossed because I'm thinking, look at these guys transforming from who they are as individuals to someone else. Is it that easy? Is it that difficult? And such things pique my curiosity. So I said, you know what? I want to do this. It's not, most people will think, oh, the money is great, whatever. You must have been earning a lot. I'm like, no, man. If you don't love what you're doing, you won't be happy about anything else. Because truth be told, the money is great. It depends with the production, some productions.
Yeah.
But the money is not great in some productions as well. So but you'll see us in almost anything that we love. We read a script, you love it, you're there. You might kosana over money, but you're like, really, I'm intrigued by this character, I want to do it. So for me, it was just a love. And I felt like I'm this guy who's never sat in one position and been comfortable. I've never been comfortable in just one position, one area of my life. I have to challenge myself. And I thought it was a nice challenge, and hopefully I'm passing the test, because this is a continuous process.
It turned out very well.
Glad you think so.
Now, Dr. Leshan on Selina,
yes,
you were thrown with big wigs in that show.
Yes.
How was it working with them?
So, coming to set the first day, I think my first day coming to set was to sign the contract. Set was in, I think I can say it now because the show is over. The set was in Runda. So coming to the house, there was an office there set up. We had our production line manager, Sally, coming to the office. I'd already read the contract and everything. It was just now signing, getting particulars and everything, and just get him introduced to the other guys. And I'll tell you, I signed the same day, because I went for the same auditions with Becky Mwalimu as well. So she signed the same day. And I'm meeting her. I've seen this lady play numerous parts on theater and everything. So I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, hi Fidel. It's so wonderful to have you on board as well. Then I meet Helen Kelly. She was so welcoming. Pascal had already known him from his music, because we used to talk a lot about music. He used to bring his music to the station, and we played it. So they sort of made me comfortable. But I'll kid you not, I was intimidated. You've seen all these guys, and they're so natural at what they do. They've done it, I think by that point, they've done it for a year, the show. So I'm coming in as a newbie. So you're intimidated, you're gauging, will they like me? Will I be up to par and everything? But, I'm glad I was comfortable enough to just be who I am, and I was comfortable. Our director, producer at the time, Ruben, he really made us comfortable as well. Made us feel like we're welcome. Didn't make us feel like, you're a stranger in this set. You're part of this family now. You've signed, you're part of us. And that's a beauty. It took 1 week, I think 2 weeks, and then you get used to guys, crew, everyone. It's easy peasy.
How did people receive your role?
Yeah.
And did it change? Did it have change in your life, both professionally?
Yeah.
And personally?
Personally. Well, so by that point, after signing, filmed multiple scenes, multiple episodes, but Selina was so ahead. So my scenes, I think, now started appearing maybe a month later, whatever. So the first time when my scenes appeared, I think Zainabu, who used to play Maria, texted me and said, "Have you engaged Facebook?" I'm like, "Could do what?" She's like, "Just engage Facebook and see." She sent me the link of, there's a big fan page, a Selina fan page. Actually, it's a Selina page by MultiChoice. So they had posted, I think, my picture with Patricia, and now the comments down below. Oh my God. Guys, To be honest, I appreciate the love because it's them that make us eat. Yeah. It's their love that makes us who we are, who makes us get new contracts, whatever. And oh my God, the love that I received that day, and I was like, I don't want to see this, man, because I was feeling spoiled. Yeah, I was feeling like I'm getting excited and everything, and I'm like, no, man, maybe they'll hate me tomorrow, So I was like, no, let me not get excited about this. But I'll kid you not, it was a good feeling. It was a good, most people will pretend and say, oh, this is part of the job, and we take it as it is. We take it in stride. I'm like, yeah, you take it in stride, but at the same time, you're a human being.
Yes.
And sometimes when you're doing a job, you need that sort of validation. You don't need validation, but sometimes you do. And it felt really nice what they were saying about me, what they were saying about my character, and that's, I thought, I'm doing a good job. But immediately then, after reading those comments, I said, I'm going to switch off. I'm never going to be looking at these comments. I'm just going to be doing my job, because sometimes inadvertently, whether you like it or not, it might influence how you behave on set, how your character moves forward and everything. And maybe it might be contrary to what the production expects from you. So I made a conscious effort to just, not to be addicted to that page, not to be looking at the comments, looking at how I'm performing. Just the performance reviews, I'd expect my director, my producers to tell me.
Because it's so easy to get robbed in that high.
It's the dopamine effect, man. you feel you're 6 foot. I'm already 6'2", so I feel like I'm already another 6'2". I feel like I'm 12 feet above everyone else, but which is not, it's not
a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but at the same time, it's fun love.
And then also it's not sustainable. It's
not. Yeah, that's the thing. So if you depend on that to perform, you're in trouble, because there are days they're not going to love you. There are days actually the fans will look at your character and what your character is doing to their favorite character. For example, I was a character coming in to vibe their favorite character, and I was being the gentleman. I was being the perfect guy for Patricia. So for them, automatically they loved me, and maybe they didn't love Fidel, but they loved the character. So there's days when the scriptwriter is going to write something different about you.
Yeah.
So they're going to hate you, and then you're going to feel bad about yourself. And it's not you; it's about the character. Actually, if they hate what you're doing a good job. It means you're convincing them that you're a bad guy, and yet you're not. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? Why do you think the show was so popular?
The show. Let me tell you, when I after my auditions, I started watching from season 1, episode 1, and I saw
up to 6. And you did a marathon.
I did a marathon, but I didn't. Of course, I didn't do it in one sitting. But when I saw episode 1, I immediately got what the fans loved. It was a sort of coming of age local story. Local audience related to everything that these characters were doing. From Celeste just growing up with her family who go in the farm, and then there's a position opening up in the city, come work for these rich guys and everything. The struggle, the hustles, it's what everyone does in this country, what everyone does in this city of Nairobi or any urban center in different capacities, So I got why people love the show. People could relate to the show. They could relate to the characters. And then it being a Swahili telenovela, that was magic. That was genius, by the way. So I think that's why the show grew exponentially. Like in such a short period of time, the show grew. And of course, the actors were there. Like all these guys, Pascal, Celeste, Helen. I mean, what can you say?
It was like a dream team.
Yes. And most of them, they were known, but they were not that known.
Yeah.
In terms of, I compare it sometimes to, and I know this is a big leap, Game of Thrones. It's the same thing. If you see the cast of Game of Thrones, they have done some work, but they're not as known as other actors.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think that helps a story, because you're seeing different faces that you've never seen, and then they're giving you a story that you absolutely love. Magic.
Yeah. Wow. Now, you've done quality productions. Monica.
Yes.
Selina, and now at Single Kiasi.
Yes.
How do you choose your roles?
I don't know. It's by the grace of God. I'm so lucky. because sometimes, people, I see a lot of guys, I get a lot of WhatsApps as well as some of my colleagues as well who get those messages where somebody's like, I'm just looking to break into the industry. I'm looking to do roles and everything. So there's a danger of just taking everything and accepting everything. So you have to, you have to have that wisdom, that Solomon wisdom in terms of choosing the right project. Sometimes, most of the time, you'll be surprised the project chooses you, and it's up to you to know, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this or not? I've had, and maybe I'll sound spoiled or whatever, but I know my colleagues do the same thing. You get called for an audition for a certain role or whatever. Believe it or not, we still audition. We still audition because people need to see, do you fit into this character and everything. And sometimes you get a script and you're like, maybe this is not for me. Yeah, this is
that kind of instinct.
Yeah, that kind of instinct just checks in. It's guidance from above, I guess. And then you just call the person and say, I'm afraid I can't do this. And we've done it enough times. And then there's some you just get excited, overly excited. You get even so nervous. Your audition is going to be messed up because you're like, oh my God, I just want this part so bad. And it's not, most people think, oh, it's a money or it's a prestige. No, it's you love the character. And I keep asking my colleagues if they have the same feeling I get sometimes. When I'm at home, I'm watching a show, whether it's local or international. I'm watching a show and I'm looking at a character. I always imagine myself, can I play that character? Yeah. And sometimes, the shoes are too big for you. But you're like, no, then they're not bigger shoes. You always want to improve. So you watch a movie like maybe Top Gun, Maverick, or whatever. You watch a Batman or any of the Marvel movies, or you watch some Oscar-nominated film, and you look at yourself. Can I play Anthony Hopkins' role in that movie? Can I play Raymond Ofula's role in that movie? When you see Lara Croft, for example, I always ask myself that question, and I know most of my colleagues do the same thing because you want to grow.
Yeah,
you want to grow all the time. And shout out. This is a shout out to people like Sarah Hassan, Charles Ouda, who've taken classes, they've gone abroad, they've tried their thing, and it's hard. People don't know how hard it is. Because when I was young, when I'm vibing a chick, okay, I never used to vibe chicks because I was scared of rejection. Yeah, because back in the day, it was old school.
It was hard.
It was hard. You
Chicks
have to capture someone,
hard.
The right way, everything, impress her. You don't have money. You're just in school.
So your words have to be.
Go there, the chick just says, you know what, Fidel, it's a no. So in acting, I compare it to the same feeling in acting because you go for auditions, you get a lot of rejection.
More no's than
yeses. So you see 1 yes from Selina, you don't know how many no's I've gotten before the Selina thing. So I think it's a beautiful business. It's an ugly business at the same time sometimes. But if you have your head on right, sky's the limit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Single Kiasi.
Yes.
Season 2. What's the new role about? Wambie.
To be honest. Right now, because we're on episode 2, there's still so much to come. I cannot even talk about the character, but it's an exciting character. I'll tell you that. He's, I'll say he's someone studious, very sharp, very clever. It was a nice role that when I got the chance when I got the script to audition for, I was like, oh my God, I hope I can get it. Because I've met with Phil Bresson, I've met with Grace, and these guys are wonderful people. So we've discussed the art scene and everything, and I was so excited. I remember telling them, if there's a season 2, I just want to be in there. And yeah, lo and behold, the season 2 came upon, and then I was given this role to try out, and they loved it. They're like, you know what, dude, you're in it. And it was one of my most challenging roles to date. Let me just say that. Yeah, so I can't say a lot because the episodes haven't aired, and I don't want to spoil it for guys. I'm the same. I don't like spoilers.
Me too.
I love watching the thing fresh and just getting surprised. So it's a very interesting character, an exciting character, and I can't wait for you guys to see it.
What kind of emotions or experiences influences your work in acting?
Yeah. And actors go through various emotions, states of emotion, joy, sadness. Interesting. I find
which one pops more?
Yeah, for me, I feel like sadness, I'm more comfortable in sadness, which is weird. It doesn't mean I'm a dark person, but it just, I don't know, I've even heard most experienced actors saying this, like just going to set and pretending to be happy and laughing is harder than just going there and being sad and depressed.
Yeah.
So it's weird. So for me, the emotions, in terms of what I like to play or how the emotions I feel when I get a part.
An emotion that brings out more of your acting.
As sadness.
Sadness.
Yeah, you just go to that. Every human being, every Kenyan, every international person, whatever, every human being goes through sadness at some point in their lives, and I think the sadness lives with you longer than any joyous aspect of your life. So we are lucky sometimes you have this and this happening for you. You've gotten a gig, you've gotten a job. I don't think I remember the first time I remember, of course, I told you I remember the first time I got a job, but I don't remember that feeling exactly, as opposed to remembering how I felt, when something sad happened in my life. So you remember the sad bits more. And I feel like that maybe shows up mostly and shows up well when I'm acting. You
must be in tune with your emotions, because if you're not, then you can't pull that sadness quick.
Yes. I mean, you're playing somebody else, and you have to take that responsibility serious enough to be inside that person you're playing, and reading and understanding the script, and understanding where this character is coming from, and understanding the emotions at play when he's doing a particular scene, when he's playing opposite another character, understanding and feeling it, being inside that feeling. And most of the time, sometimes, we make that mistake of just reading a script and just getting the lines. It's not enough. It's not enough, because you'll hear the great stories of productions, and I'll tell you, even here it happens. The greatest scenes that have ever been done, most of the time, the lines that have been done which are not even on paper, because you felt a certain way and you said out something, and maybe director can choose to keep it or not. But I think sometimes when you snap like that, it's natural, that's you felt that character, So for me, actors, I feel, have to embody the character more than the lines. The lines are a guide to you, but you have to understand your lines as well. Read, understand, come prepared. Because sometimes, most of the time, we don't come prepared. You come to set, and there's life. It's life. It's like any other jobo. You've come to jobo today, you're not on your A game. You've come to jobo, there's some stuff happening at home. So that's the challenging aspect, but that's the challenging aspect about being actors. You have to forget everything that's happening in your life to focus on this person's life. You could be having a sad situation at home, and that day you're coming to set, your character is so happy, you're getting married that day, and you're like, oh my God, this is the worst day of my life, but I have to be, You
have to be happy.
Yeah.
What's the funniest thing that has happened to you on a set?
Funniest thing? Oh my God. You see, now remembering the nice things is crazy. Funniest thing, I feel... So we used to have this thing on Selina, especially, shooting long days, long hours, whatever. So I shot my scene and I knew it was the last scene of the day. My last scene of the day, everyone else was still shooting. So I'm like, when the director just said cut, and he was like wrapped, I looked at the assistant director, Ali. I'm like, huh? Just gave him a look. He's like, yeah, you can go change. I've changed into my clothes. Gone to the wardrobe, changed everything. I'm like, I'll see you guys tomorrow, bro. Actually, I think it was on Friday, so I think I was going to see you guys on Monday. I stand like this. I'm leaving the house, and then I just hear Ali say, Leshan. Leshan, because we used to call each other our characters' names, so that you just gets into you kabisa. I'm like, yeah, hatujamaliza kuna scene moja, you're just supposed to walk from this door to that door. Tafadhali pole kiongozi, pole tukuomba, tafadhali pole tumemake mistake. Makosa ni yetu. We change tu tukuje tukuta.
And that's a whole process.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I have to go change, sit on makeup. I did all that, sat in makeup, did my makeup, went to set, okay, I'm ready. Stood there like, no, Leshan, it was a prank, you're wrapped.
No.
So it was the funniest, but at the same time I was like,
really?
I'm going to get you guys. I don't know how, but I will get you guys. It was, so, it's serious situations, serious business shooting, but at the same time, guys have to find ways of laughing and just having joy while shooting.
Yeah. That was a deadly prank.
Imagine, I've changed everything. I'm serious. I've gone to makeup. I'm like, I'm here. I'm ready. Give it to me. And then they tell me, oh, no, you're done. You're done for today. Yeah. So you can imagine.
Will you ever do a musical?
I never like saying never. But that is close to it. I love music, by the way. I love music, but
do you have the vocals for
I don't think I have the vocals for it, to be honest. I've had myself in the shower and it's not that great. So I don't know, but I love my favorite musical. I have two favorite musicals actually. The Wizard of Oz, the original one, the 1950s or whatever, with Judy Garland, and Sound of Music. Those two. And I believe it or not, I watched Sound of Music. I think I was the last one to watch it. I watched it maybe 2 years ago. The first time.
Those are dope classicals.
Yeah, imagine. So not to sound elitist, but those, because I feel like musicals, guys are on a certain, certain edge. They have a certain edge. Like your acting is on point, your singing is on point. Like the synchronicity of it all is, I don't know. So I don't think, for right now, I'll say no. Yeah.
Do you ever get starstruck?
Yes.
Who?
Lots.
When was the last time you had?
When was the last time I was starstruck? When I checked into set. When I was on Varshita, no, not really, because I knew the guys in a way. So I'd worked with Eve a long time ago. We were very good friends. Yeah. And so I wasn't really starstruck. But I remember when we were doing Monica and they did the casting and everything, when we were doing the pilot, and then Scully called us to do the pilot, and first we did a table read. Then I met Raymond Ofula. I was lost, man. I was starstruck, man. I'm like, I've seen you on Lara Croft, man. I've seen you in all these productions, and you have this stature.
Yeah.
I was starstruck. But I immediately forgot about it because, as they say, once you sign the contract and you're playing opposite each other or whatever, we're both equals now. If you go in starstruck, you're not going to do your job.
Yeah.
But I've been starstruck a couple of times. And also back in the day, I can't remember, I think I was 14, 13. I met Catherine Kasavuli for the first time through my mom. I've never seen a more beautiful woman. Like, I just looked at her, I was like, oh my God. So my hormones were jumping.
Crash plus starstruck.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. And she was so pleasant, she was so nice. She was friends with my mom at the time, and they were just chapping their own stories. Me, I'm just there, I'm looking. Back at my mom is telling me, you close your mouth.
Even mama realized, this boy.
This guy's in trouble, man. Yeah, but shout out to the great late Catherine Kasavuli. She was a gem. She was a real star. Yeah.
As a basketball commentator,
do
you do it live? Is it kind of like analyzing the game?
So we do it live. So there are two parts. I remember. So there are two parts of the job I've done. I've done with Supersport and Kwese TV. And Kwese came into the market. With Supersport, it used to be live. So it was analysis. You're at Kasarani Stadium. Most of the games that we did with Supersport were at Kasarani. And you just give live analysis. You have your main commentator. So most of the time I was the number two. just giving color in terms of how the game is, talking about the players, individual players, what they can do different, what they can do well, what they need to do less of, whatever. So you're the guy feeding the main commentator. And because I've loved the game, I've watched the game since the 80s, you know what I mean? So I've loved it. I've maybe borrowed things here and there from the greats, the likes of Mike Breen, Marv Albert, all those guys from the US, and how they commentate. In terms of football, I've heard of Martin Tyler back in the day, and then John Champion, Peter Drury, all those guys. So you listen to those guys, you absorb, you try, and then maybe localize to the market you're doing it for. So commentating is one of the hardest things because you're doing things real time.
Yeah.
You can't predict what that player is going to do. They do it, and then you have to describe for the audience. And the guys I really give respect to are the play-by-play announcers who do for radio. For example, the Leonard Mabombotelas of this world. You have to paint a picture for me at home. Yeah, with your words, and he has to describe everything. You know, in TV at least, somebody can see the ball has gone out. You don't need to say that. So you just say turnover by the Lakers, and then you wait. In radio, you have to describe everything. You passed that ball, it went outside, now the ball is stuck. There's a delay in the game because this and this is happening. So in radio, play-by-play is really, I give respect to those guys because they really do a good job. They paint pictures for guys who cannot be in the stadium to see what's happening. Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, basketball is so fast.
Very.
Fadhali football, you can interact. There's 90 minutes of doing so much.
Yeah, in football, sometimes I hear commentators taking a pause a bit because maybe the game is not as fast as it needs to be. They've slowed it down, so guys are just passing it between themselves at the back, and you can even hear the commentators are taking a pause in the game in terms of letting the game breathe, if you will. But basketball is end to end. Impact. So you go miss a shot, these guys get a rebound, they can't make a shot. You're like, oh my God, they take a timeout. You have to describe what's been happening. They've been losing the ball several times coming. What's the problem? The defense is tight. These guys are careless with the ball. All these things. Your vocabulary has to be on another level to match whatever you're going to speak about. So it's sleepless nights knowing you're broadcasting tomorrow by the like pressure. I never sleep. Even when I'm shooting, like I have problems. I have to sleep like normally I sleep at 3. So maybe
that's hardly sleeping.
Yeah, it's not sleeping. So you have to do something like sleep at 8 so that even if you wake up at 2, you've gotten your sleep.
Sasa mi kuona hapo hivyo social media. Piga look.
All right.
Promoting hapo hivyo Glenfiddich.
Yes.
As an ambassador.
Yeah.
What is it about that whiskey that speaks to you?
So correction a bit. Mulunda is our ambassador for Glenfiddich. And then we have the Mavericks who are Magunga, myself, Koi Kamau, and Kate Kendi. What about the whiskey that speaks to me? I think it's the maturity and the class and the elegance and how it feels on the palate. Like you have it in your mouth, you just feel like this is such a smooth drink. It's just has a sophistication at the same time. It's simple, and that's what sometimes I like to think of myself. I'm a simple guy. Yeah, I have my quirks here and there, my kinks, but I'm a simple guy. But some people can describe me as maybe you have some level of sophistication. So I feel like the drink really like it goes with me. It goes and it's a perfect partnership, if you will, because most of the time, some people just do partnerships for the sake of, and I'm not begrudging anyone getting paper. Go get your money. I would wish somebody to give me paper right now, but it's such a privilege to have a partnership that you're getting paid for, and you feel like the both of you are in sync. The brand and yourself are just made for each other. So for me,
in short, the drink is you.
I didn't say it. I just felt it. Yeah.
So you were part of an entertainers basketball team.
Yes.
I remember coming to Imara to watch you guys, EFC.
I remember.
Are you guys still playing?
We're trying to, Nonini now, I think, I don't know if he's relocated permanently or whatever. But he was we're talking the other day actually about it. Like, we need to make a comeback. We're talking to another guy. You might have known him. He's also, I hate to call you this Luigi, but Luigi is like a socialite. Like, everyone knows who Luigi is. Luigi and Pete. And we're talking about just going back to do those things, because we whether we know it or not, we really made an impact in people's lives in terms of what we did on the court. It was so much fun playing and then getting the funds and making the funds work for people who underprivileged. Someshat guys made opportunities for guys to earn some money in terms of schools and communities. So for me, I feel like, yeah, maybe we should. We can never say never. We're never going to close that chapter. It's just getting the timing right. And we get back to it. Might be a little bit unfit, but we'll get back to it for sure. Yeah.
What's your secret to looking good on the red carpet? Is it a stylist, or is it a personal style?
So I'm so simple. Look at me. I love white t-shirts, jeans, and everything. But when you go into the red carpet, I think it has to start from you. And then even if you have a stylist, you and the stylist have to come together and just meet halfway. Otherwise, because sometimes, somebody will tell you to wear a certain outfit, and you'll wear it, and people might even say, "Oh my God, look at you!" And again, you're not really feeling it. You're like, "This is not me. This is not me." So I think it has to be you. Like, maybe 70-80% has to be you. It has to be something you feel very strongly. Like, I need to wear this. And for men, I think it's so simple. Men, we're so like, it's just black tie, tuxedo, whatever. We can go with an African print, whatever. The ladies is what and I think as men, we've let the ladies down. Kenyan men, where the guys who come in with jeans and t-shirt.
The ladies
hot. Looking hot, and then you guys are just there with a t-shirt and all like, oh gosh, it was a formal event. I didn't know. You're pretending. So yeah, I think as Kenyan men, we need to style up. We need to really style up when it comes to events. Know the event, know how you. I always say this: Kenyans really know how to dress, but sometimes we don't know how to dress appropriately. So you'll find someone with dress shoes going for a football match at Nyayo Stadium. It's a weekend. And you're not presenting any awards. You're not an official. So you're like, why are you wearing dress shoes? They're nice. They could be like 20,000 shilling worth of dress shoes, but the occasion doesn't suit it, So for me, I think that once we know those things and we know how to dress for events, we're good. Yeah.
When I look online,
yeah,
I see you have a boundary with your private life. It's like a line, but there is no line.
There's no line.
Yes.
Yeah.
How is that important to you?
Yeah, you're very in tune with the social media. It's very important. I mean, we've seen it with other people. We've seen it, and you don't mean to be happy about someone else's misfortunes or whatnot, because I hear people saying, oh, they should have kept their life private, whatever. Sometimes maybe that's them. They're extroverted and they like to share, and they want to share, oh, I'm in this relationship, I want to do this, I want to show this, I want to show this. But for me, I've always felt, this is just me. It's from when I was a kid. It's like I'm not, that's how we grew up. I'm not too showy. And sometimes I even feel uncomfortable to show the little that I show. But sometimes it's necessary. But there's a fine line. You're right. I have to protect that, because for me it's important, because not everyone, unfortunately, in this world, or who follows you on social is looking out for you.
No, not all.
Not everyone is happy with your success, or not everyone is going to feel what you're feeling or what you're going through at a particular moment. People will pretend, oh, it's sad. Sorry, anything you can do, I'm here for you, hugs and whatever. But not everyone is genuine.
Yeah.
So why share all that with people who might not want the best for you? So that's just my philosophy on it. Yeah.
So are you a family man?
I have a partner. I have a living partner. We're going strong, steady, and we might make the next steps. That's all I'm gonna say.
Kids?
No kids at the moment. But yeah, I've been happy. And for those who know, they know.
Yeah.
They know who the person is. But we've been happy. It's rewarding. It's the thing about relationships, and people forget sometimes. People always think being single is the easiest thing because you are not answerable to anyone. Mm-hmm. To some extent, yeah. I guess maybe if you're
I
from
think
a toxic
for me
relationship.
that is
That is the case, huh?
that I have found analyzing my train wrecks.
Yeah.
I have found my singleness is more better than my train wrecks.
Yeah.
From that analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then one day maybe you'll be lucky.
Maybe.
Or the other person will be lucky to partner with you, and you'll be in a great space. So for me, it always works. It's different strokes for different folks, I guess. So you can be happy alone. So I always preach this: be happy first. Be you as Fidel. Be happy, and then when you meet somebody else, that person, hopefully they're happy in their lives as well, individually, so that when you guys come together, you're just happy. You're not depending on me for your happiness. Of course, I'm adding to your happiness and joy, but you're already a happy person. You're satisfied. If you come into the relationship with hang-ups from previous things, it's not going to work. Yeah.
So happiness is not in the other person.
It's in you.
It's in you.
Yeah. Sorry to sound like Will Smith, but, but it's true. Just be that person first. Have your own joy. Because the mistake I think we make is if you're depending on that person to give you joy, and maybe they're going through their stuff as well, you're always going to be at odds, conflict.
Yeah.
So you're like, how come I'm going through this thing, you're not here with me? I'm like, oh gosh. But yeah, I mean, as long as the both of you are in sync, why not? And there's no rush. This thing of time. I get this question a lot. Oh, so when are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? And I always wonder, man, like your timetable is not my timetable. It's
totally different.
Yeah, what I want to achieve, and you don't know us. Me, I don't know you guys. So maybe you guys, we met 1 year down, you're like, yeah, we'll get married. We're doing all this stuff. So everyone has their own timetable. There's no competition here. This is not the Olympics. This is not the wedding Olympics, whatever. Yeah. So people need to respect that and recognize that in themselves, and they'll be happy for it.
Being a single person, I have found that most people who suggest that to me is because it's their timing.
Oh, okay.
It's because they're having issues, or they feel like if it was me, this and this and this would have happened. But it's not from myself deciding that.
Yeah.
So I keep on asking them, whose life? Who is this life?
Yeah, for
Is it yours? Is it mine?
Yeah. Because I find that also people, it's interesting you say that, you part of people who are going through it in their relationships. Excuse me. They want to advise you, oh, you should get married by now. That time they're going through separation or something. So I'm like, why are you even giving me this advice? And then I thought maybe misery loves company, but I didn't want to be that cynical. But I don't know. I mean, the way you said it is so eloquent. Your timing is your timing. My timing is my timing. So whatever happens in my timing, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, also it's what it was meant to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
also different journeys and what you want to achieve. Maybe marriage is not my priority, or maybe it is, but just not now.
No, not now, down the line. People focus on other things, their careers and everything, so that by the time you... And I hear this a lot, you're never going to have money to have kids or whatever. But respect those people maybe who want sort of to be ready. Because, hey, man, I know what you guys are going through it right now. The economy there it is. And then... schools are reopening every, I don't know.
Last year. Let me tell you, last year we had 4 terms. As a parent, I was like, with 2 weeks closing school, I'm like, no.
Imagine, in 2 weeks, you have to come up with something. Every time you have to come up with something. So that's crazy, man. And you still hear people saying, so you do like that? I'm like, my gosh, guys, man, chill. But shout out to parents who they're really supporting their kids in whatever way. We saw our parents do it. And you can't imagine. I don't know if it was simpler back then. It was cheaper.
I think lifestyle was cheaper.
Or lifestyle was cheaper.
But responsibility was still the same.
Because, we didn't have those things that weekend we have to go. Weekend is for you resting, doing your homework. That's it.
Playing with other kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah. And then once in a while, your parent can, if they feel magnanimous enough, they can spoil you guys.
On one Kasande.
They can take you to the park or whatever. Because it was Jivanji Gardens. Free. That's a free place. Kenchik was just across the road. Buy the kuku there, bring guys. And that was a fun day out. Yeah. But nowadays, there's a lot of social pressure, man.
Kwanza malls. I wouldn't want to be there on a weekend.
Imagine, kids are there, just saying, your kid wants, even me, I want, the other kids are doing this, I want. It's pressure on the parents.
Yeah. Life. So what's your secret to longevity in the industry?
Secret is just, it's going to sound controversial. Just be a good human being. Be a professional. Yeah. Most of the time, we've experienced it, we've seen it. No matter how successful you are, just be a professional, be a true pro. And I know sometimes people take advantage of you being nice, and people sometimes react that way by saying, what's the point of being nice when people are going to take advantage of me? It don't matter. As I say, it doesn't matter, because be who you are, true to yourself. Don't let somebody else dictate how you should behave towards them. Just because somebody has cut you off in traffic, don't lose your mind and get out of the car and be somebody who you're not by trying to confront the other person. I've fallen into that temptation, and then I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Just chill out. So your behavior is not going to dictate how I behave. So even if people want to take advantage of you, then just lay your claim down in a professional way. Say, I've been coming to Jobo every day. When are you guys going to pay me? Or I'm being treated like this. I don't get these privileges, blah, 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 whatever. But I've always thought that longevity is dependent to people like working, with the people they like, So if you're going to be a problem, it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? So people like working with the people they like. So be that person. Be that person. No matter how big you are, no matter how big you think you are, don't bring it, don't show it. Don't be that guy who comes to set 4 hours late and says, what? I'm here, let's shoot.
I hate those ones.
So you finish, maybe the production will actually finish it, but guess what? That producer doesn't want to work with you ever again.
Yeah.
And I've seen even instances, you've seen it on social, where people are talking about, when I used to be on this top show, I think I saw this lady who used to be on 227, Jackie. She was talking about Kenya Barris, the producer of Blackish. And Kenya Barris apparently used to be the script runner for her. Like, she used to bring the scripts for her. And Jackie was very honest. She said, oh my God, I was terrible to the guy. And look at him now. Like right now, we're asking him for jobs. But I'm not saying be nice so that something nice happens to you. Just be nice.
Yeah.
Just be nice. Because people are also going through it. I can shout at somebody in traffic. Maybe that person is losing their mind. They have going to in hospital.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to get there on time, and there's traffic. So I'm busy shouting at this person, and then they're looking at you with a confused look. They're wondering, what's this guy all about? Me, I have issues from here to whatever. So you don't know what people are going through in life. Just
chill.
Yeah, try and be that guy who can help a situation out. Yeah.
You ventured into acting after achieving so much in your career.
Yeah.
What advice will you give other guys who want to join acting in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, and they just don't have that courage?
Hey, don't be scared, man. Do it. I mean, Morgan Freeman, 60, I think. Samuel L. Jackson, which people don't know, broke out when he was 40.
I have seen him.
Yeah, you've seen him
for a very long time.
I saw him on Coming to America. The first time I saw Samuel L. Jackson, it was just a stupid role in the restaurant when he was holding up the place, and Eddie Murphy's character rescued the situation, whatever. And that was a small role he did. But when he came into prominence, he was in his 40s. So never, I keep saying this is not a competition. It's not a competition. Your timing is your timing. You can plan for stuff. They say you can plan for stuff and God laughs.
Yeah.
So just be ready, always ready, because your opportunity will come like this. And sometimes people wish, oh man, I wish I was Pascal Tukodi. I wish I was Helen Keller. I wish I was Sarah Hassan. But people forget, are you ready for that responsibility? If you're ready, fine. Sometimes we're not ready for that. You're expecting, I want to be like Idris Elba. Are you ready for Idris Elba's responsibility? What he has to do for his fan base, the tours he does, the commitments he has all year round. These guys are working maybe
the
8 months
dedication.
in a year. Yeah. So are you ready for that success as well? If you are, by all means. But also don't give up. Don't say, I'm at this age, I'm not going to do it. Do it. Do it. We're in this information age. People are doing podcasts. People are doing whatever they need to do. Just do it. Do it today. Yeah.
Because I see, having been a journalist for a while now, I see success in cycles.
Yeah.
Especially for musician, actors, Nini. You just never know. Today, this one is up here. Sijui, he was struggling a week ago. Now everything is over the moon.
Yeah. Look at Lupita. Lupita out of nowhere. Okay, we knew her, but out of nowhere, now she's became the toast of Hollywood. I like quoting some of my favorite actors who are older. George Clooney, living with his friends until he was 36. Didn't have a place to stay. And then
now that
one
will be
show.
called loser.
ER happened. You start 40K per episode USD. So success, you have the number one show in the States. Of course, success follows you. Now you have everything going on for you.
Yeah.
One instance, of course, you've gone for auditions, you've been rejected and everything, but you get this opportunity to be on a bus. It's traveling on a destination that is going to also carry you to that paradise destination. And now you're there. So you have to maintain it. Look at their careers now, longevity. Wow. It's been successful all these years from 94, 95. Idris Elba, we used to do commercials. He used to be a DJ, out of work DJ and everything. Look at him now. I mean, there's those cycles. We see people, you'll see this is somebody's season. Next season will be somebody's season. So you have to always be ready. Always be ready. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Most welcome. It was a pleasure being here. I just love talking about the industry, trying to give some of myself to people out there who might also be, sometimes we also struggle. We're human beings. We struggle with our own things, but there are people who struggle the most.
Yeah.
So hopefully such a platform can be inspirational to somebody who's going through it.
Yeah. Karibu tena.
Asante.
Usichukue another 3 years.
No. My fault. I have to tell guys, we've been planning this interview for 3 years and the timing has not been perfect, but today I'm here. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you guys for watching the episode. Please subscribe. I will see you guys next week.